Now let me give you some just general studying efficiently tips that hopefully can save you time. I'm a big proponent of going to all the lectures, and there are several reasons why you might want to go to all lectures. You don't want to miss a question on an exam that was directly covered in lecture. That would be near idiotic. So go get those notes and understand how to do questions that are explained in class. Also, sometimes instructors will tell you, I've even done this directly, what's on the exam. When they tell you that, make a big star next to it by your notes. And also, pay attention to what the instructor is spending a lot of time explaining. Because usually, the percentage of time that an instructor spends explaining a particular material is in line with the percentage of points that the exam, point distribution of the exam. So find out what they're explaining, get to know those things, and studies show that if you review your notes about 10 minutes within the first few hours after lecture, that your retention of that material is significantly increased. So if you can, just for 10 minutes after a lecture sometime, maybe before your next class starts, review your notes. Knowing concepts is always better than memorizing. Memorizing eats away a lot of brain space, and students out of high school tend to prefer to memorize, and it takes a long time to kick that habit. So get to know the concepts, because sometimes there's a question on the exam that uses a concept, but would be not in line with what you necessarily memorized. So be kind of an exception to the rule, and you're going to miss those if you don't understand the concepts really well. So, and you'll save a lot of brain space by knowing just a few concepts rather than memorizing a ton of stuff. And this is especially true in OChem. Now, general things, just sleep and eat normally. Many of my students have done really poorly on exam because they were tired and brain dead. And some students have even failed an exam because they didn't show up, or they showed up so late they couldn't do very well on it. So, now a priority that I think is really important is to meet your classmates. If you're a really good student, sometimes meeting your classmates and being able to have, not quite a study group, but be able to explain the material to them helps you learn it better. If you're not that great a student, and this is what I did all the time in undergrad and grad school, I would meet who I thought was the smartest person in the class and get to know them and study with that person, because whatever they know, they've got it figured out. So get to know students that you think are smart in the class and pick up knowledge and study skills from them. Now, because of your personality, some variations in studying might be different. Like an extrovert really needs a study group, where an introvert needs to sit in their closet and talk about stuff by themselves. And the verbal processing isn't as helpful. If you deal with stress, you need to really figure out a way to figure that out and to take care of it, whether that's physically, like eating more healthily, or sleeping enough every night. By the way, cramming the night before and staying up really late rarely helps. I encourage you to get a good amount of sleep before. Or sometimes spiritually, like finding ways to calm down, de-stress, or maybe it can be something like running or listening to music that can help you kind of mellow out before an exam. You just got to find some way to deal with that.